As women grow older, they are often told that beauty fades, that their worth lies in the smoothness of their skin or the color of their hair. The world is quick to measure beauty by youth, as if age erases elegance, presence, and charm. But that belief is not only wrong, it is profoundly harmful. Because the truth is, real beauty matures. It deepens. It becomes more powerful, not less, with time. And yet, many women over 60 walk through life unaware that they still possess a presence that turns heads, that inspires respect, admiration, even quiet envy. They don't see it in the mirror. They don't hear it from others often enough. But it's there. It has always been there. Before we go any further, I want you to take one powerful step. If you believe that beauty after 60 is real, if you believe in honoring yourself and the wisdom that comes with your years, then please take a moment now to like this video and subscribe. This channel exists for women like you, to affirm, empower, and remind you that you are not invisible. You are radiant, and the world needs to see it. Today, we are going to uncover 7 clear signs that you are a beautiful older woman, even if you don't realize it. These signs have nothing to do with Botox or magazine covers. They have everything to do with grace, strength, and the undeniable magnetism of a woman who has lived, learned, and endured. A woman who carries her story in every step, every glance, every word she speaks. Let me ask you something deeply personal. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and truly saw yourself? Not as someone aging, but as someone evolving? When was the last time you believed that your beauty hadn't vanished, but transformed into something richer, bolder, more deeply felt? Too often, society convinces women to chase youth instead of honoring age. You are told to hide your wrinkles, dye your hair, shrink your presence. But today, I want you to do the opposite. I want you to stand taller. Because the signs of your beauty are not behind you. They're with you, right now. You may not see it, but others do. The way you speak with confidence, the way your eyes hold depth, the way you carry yourself when no one is watching. These are the true marks of a beautiful older woman. And if you stay with me, I will show you how to recognize these signs in yourself. Not just so others can see them, but so you can finally believe them. Because you deserve to. This isn't about vanity. This isn't about proving anything to anyone else. This is about finally claiming the truth of who you are, at this age, in this moment, with this body, this face, this life. Beauty didn't leave you. It grew into you. And in just a moment, we'll explore the first sign, a quiet but unmistakable signal that your presence still captivates those around you, even if no one has said the words out loud. You are not done. You are not forgotten. You are, in more ways than you know, beautiful. The first undeniable sign that you're a beautiful older woman, whether or not you see it yourself, is that people notice when you walk into a room, even if you don't say a word. You might not be the loudest voice. You may not dress to draw attention. You don't chase approval or ask for praise. But something about your presence turns heads. People glance up. Conversations pause for a second. Strangers shift to make space. It's not about what you wear. It's about the energy you carry, the quiet confidence of a woman who knows who she is, who's endured, who no longer needs to explain herself. You've stopped performing for the world, and in doing so, you've become magnetic. If you've ever walked into a gathering and felt eyes linger, even for a moment, if you've sensed curiosity, admiration, or a certain respectful distance, that wasn't coincidence. That was presence. That was beauty revealing itself without asking permission. And if this speaks to you, if some part of you is starting to remember that your presence still holds weight, still holds power, then I ask you to like this video and subscribe. Because every time you say yes to this truth, you reclaim a part of yourself that the world may have tried to erase. Let's talk about what presence really means. Presence is not about age. It's not about the size of your waist or the style of your clothes. Presence is about posture, poise, and peace. It's about how you hold your head high, not from pride, but from experience. It's in the way you meet someone's eyes and don't look away. It's in the way you walk, with purpose, not urgency. the way you listen before speaking, the way you command respect without raising your voice. These are not skills you learn from a book. They are earned through decades of navigating life's joys, wounds, sacrifices, and awakenings. Younger women may be admired for their beauty, but older women are remembered for their presence. And the reason your presence feels different now, richer, heavier, more compelling, is because it comes from a place no youth can replicate: lived wisdom. Your story is written in your gaze, and others feel that, even when they can't explain it. Let me ask you, have you ever noticed someone adjusting their posture when you walked into a room? Have you been surprised by how often strangers seek your opinion, even without knowing your background? Do younger women approach you with admiration or envy masked as silence? These are not accidents. They are reflections of how deeply your presence is felt. And here's the most beautiful part: you don't need to try. Your elegance isn't an effort. It's a result. Your laugh lines aren't flaws. They're reminders of joy survived. Your silver strands aren't signs of fading beauty. They're medals of time, each one a chapter of a life courageously lived. But sometimes we forget. Sometimes we walk into a room and feel invisible, not because we are, but because the world stops telling us we matter once we pass a certain age. So I'm here to remind you, you matter. Your presence still speaks volumes. And the more you own it, the louder it becomes. This isn't about demanding attention. It's about accepting that you deserve it. Now, stay with me, because the next sign we'll explore is even more subtle, yet even more powerful. It's something others notice about you long before you say a word. And once you recognize it, you'll never again doubt the quiet strength of your beauty. You may not have seen it in yourself yet, but it's there, and we're going to reveal it. The second sign that you're a beautiful older woman, even if no one has ever told you directly, is that people feel calm around you. They may not be able to explain it. They may not even mention it. But in your presence, things settle. Voices soften. Chaos quiets. Tension eases. There's something about the way you listen, the way you hold silence, the way your eyes rest on others without judgment. It brings peace. It brings safety. It brings a quiet, grounding reassurance that says, you don't have to impress me. Just be. And this is not a common trait. It's not something youth knows how to offer. This calm that surrounds you, it is the kind that can only be earned through years of enduring storms, sitting in pain without flinching, and choosing grace over drama. If you've ever had someone come to you with their problems, even though they don't know you well, if people seem to seek your presence when they're anxious, overwhelmed, or uncertain, then you are carrying one of the clearest signs of beauty that most will never understand. And if this truth is stirring something inside you, if you're starting to feel a flicker of recognition, then I invite you now to like this video and subscribe. Because this journey is not just about seeing yourself clearly. It's about finally believing what others have always felt but may never have said aloud. This calmness you exude is not passivity. It is power. Silent, radiant power. You don't rush to speak. You don't need to fill every pause. You allow space for others to breathe, to feel, to be real. And in that space, they find comfort. You see, beauty at this age isn't about drawing attention. It's about creating atmosphere. And your presence creates safety. Not because you're trying, but because you've spent a lifetime learning how to sit with discomfort, how to listen without needing to fix, how to witness pain without making it about you. That's what makes you so beautiful. Let me ask you, have people ever told you that you're easy to talk to? Have they opened up to you unexpectedly? Have they confessed things they've never told anyone else, and then said, I don't know why I just told you that? It's not chance. It's not coincidence. It's because you carry the kind of calm that only comes from a woman who has walked through fire and come out softer, not harder. It's the calm of someone who no longer needs to prove her worth, who has let go of needing to be right, who no longer wastes time on what doesn't matter. You are the anchor in the room, the steady heartbeat in the noise, the quiet presence that makes others breathe easier, sit deeper, and leave better than they came. And that, my friend, is beauty. not the kind you see in photos, the kind you feel in your bones. So if you've ever doubted your beauty because the world didn't recognize it in the language of magazines or fashion ads, hear this now. Your beauty is not loud, but it is lasting. And the peace you offer is one of its clearest signs. Stay with me, because the next sign we'll explore is even more revealing. It's not found in your appearance, but in your energy, your ability to draw others toward you without ever chasing attention. And once you begin to see it, you'll understand why you've been more admired, more remembered, and more respected than you ever realized. You are not invisible. You are extraordinary, and we're only just beginning to uncover the truth of it. The third sign that you are a beautiful older woman, even if no one has spoken it aloud, is that others are drawn to your energy, not your appearance. You may not wear bright colors. You may not speak often. You may not follow trends or try to be noticed. And yet, people gravitate toward you. They lean in when you talk. They smile when you enter a room. They introduce you with admiration in their voice, even if they can't explain why. That, right there, is energy. And yours speaks before you ever say a word. This energy is not about charm. It is not about performance. It's something far deeper, presence infused with truth. You have lived long enough to stop pretending. You have shed layers of self-doubt, people-pleasing, and comparison. What's left is something honest, grounded, and unmistakably magnetic. And if you've ever felt that silent pull, if people seem to gather around you or seek your opinion even in silence, then pause right now and like this video. Subscribe to the channel, because this is your space. A space where your wisdom, your beauty, your spirit are not only seen, but honored. What is it about your energy that draws people? It's your steadiness, your eyes that look without judging, your voice that doesn't rise for attention, yet commands it when you speak. It's your choice to listen when others interrupt, your patience in a world obsessed with speed, your ability to be fully present when someone is speaking, giving them the rare gift of being truly heard. You don't compete for space. You don't raise your hand to be validated. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth. And that quiet certainty radiates far louder than any beauty product ever could. Let me ask you, have people described you as easy to be around? Have they said they feel better after spending time with you, even when you didn't offer advice or solutions? Have younger women told you they admire how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you move through life? These are not small compliments. They are signs that your energy still teaches, comforts, and guides. And here's the truth, energy never lies. Our bodies change, our faces age, but the energy we carry, the result of our choices, our healing, our integrity, that only grows stronger with time. In fact, some of the most radiant women in the world are not the youngest or the loudest, but the ones who walk into a room with no need to be liked, and yet are deeply loved. That is who you are, or perhaps who you are slowly remembering to be. And if you've doubted that lately, if you've walked past a mirror and failed to see the woman others feel, then hear me clearly now. Your energy has never dimmed. It has matured. It has refined. It has grown more selective about who it welcomes and more powerful in how it holds space. This is why people are drawn to you, not because you seek their attention, but because your truth creates gravity. And beauty, true beauty, always has gravity. So the next time you walk into a room and notice someone lingering nearby, or someone unexpectedly opens up to you, or a younger woman watches you more closely than she lets on, know this: they're not seeing your age. They're feeling your energy. They're drawn to your light. You don't have to sparkle to shine. Stay with me, because in the next part, we will uncover a sign that most women overlook completely. It's not seen in the mirror or felt in conversation, but it reveals itself in the kind of legacy you're already leaving behind. You may not see it yet, but others do, and it's one of the most powerful marks of your beauty. You're not fading. You're rising into your truest form. The fourth sign that you're a beautiful older woman, even if you don't realize it, is that you are remembered, deeply, quietly, and often by people who never told you. There are women who pass through life like whispers, and then there are women like you who leave echoes. You may not always get the recognition you deserve. You may not always be thanked, but somewhere, someone remembers the moment you comforted them without asking why. Someone remembers the advice you gave with no judgment, the kindness you offered without agenda, the strength you displayed when others crumbled. And they carry that memory with them, years later, sometimes decades, because beauty isn't just what people see when they look at you, it's what stays with them after you're gone. If you've ever had someone come back into your life and say, "I never forgot what you said," or "You helped me more than you know," then stop and listen to me right now. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, because this isn't just about how you age, it's about how you've shaped the world around you, one quiet moment at a time. You see, younger women may leave impressions through attraction, but older women like you leave legacy through impact. There's a kind of beauty that is not loud. It does not enter a room with sparkles and noise. It enters with grace, does its work silently, and leaves footprints in hearts that last for years. Your beauty has become this kind of legacy. Let me ask you, have people ever told you that you remind them of strength, of grace, of their mother, their grandmother, or the woman they hope to become? Have you been thanked for being there, just being there, in someone's hardest hour? If so, you're already more beautiful than you've allowed yourself to believe. Because true beauty is not measured by how many people look at you, but by how many people are better because they knew you. And the most extraordinary thing? You don't even try to make that impact. You just do. It's the result of who you are, not who you pretend to be. You have built a kind of presence that lingers. Your words have taken root in others. Your choices, how you've carried pain, how you've shown up anyway, how you've stood in truth even when it cost you. These are the reasons people remember you. And that remembrance, that invisible thread between you and others, is one of the clearest signs of your beauty. You are a woman whose memory is carried forward. A woman who changed someone's path just by being herself. A woman who leaves traces not on skin or paper, but in spirit. And perhaps no one ever told you that. But that doesn't make it any less true. So the next time you wonder whether your presence still matters, whether anyone sees you, feels you, values you, remember this. You are remembered, you are respected, and you are beautiful. Stay with me, because in the next part, we will uncover a sign that appears not in your reflection, but in your voice. A voice that doesn't beg to be heard, yet changes the atmosphere when it speaks. And once you understand the quiet power you hold in that voice, you'll begin to see just how radiant you still are. You have not faded. You have taken root. The fifth unmistakable sign that you are a beautiful older woman, even if you've never claimed that title, is found in your voice. Not just the sound of it, but the weight it carries, the steadiness, the truth woven into every word. You may not raise your voice often. You may speak softly, thoughtfully, even sparingly. But when you speak, people listen. And that is not because you demand attention. It's because your voice carries something rare, earned wisdom. You don't speak to impress. You don't talk to fill silence. You speak when something needs to be said, and when it's said, it lands. It resonates. It matters. And that, more than anything, is a sign of beauty, real, rooted beauty. If this is true for you, if you've ever spoken and felt the room pause, or watched someone younger lean in just a little more, then I invite you to pause now, like this video, and subscribe. Because the way you speak and the truths you carry deserve to be seen, heard, and celebrated. Your voice, like your life, has matured. It no longer wavers with self-doubt or hurries to please. It holds space. It carries weight. It reflects the storms you've walked through and the stillness you've found on the other side. And what's more beautiful than that? Let me ask you, have you ever said something that someone repeated later because it stuck with them? Have you ever offered a perspective that shifted the way someone saw a problem, a person, or themselves? Have you ever been the voice that reminded someone they weren't broken, or weak, or alone? That's not coincidence. That's power. And here's the part you may not fully realize. You're not just wise, you're also warm. There's a warmth in your voice that cannot be manufactured. It comes from having seen life in its full complexity, from knowing what matters and what doesn't, from being broken and rebuilt so many times. Your voice has learned to speak gently, even when it speaks with strength. You've stopped yelling. You've stopped needing to win arguments. You've learned the art of saying more with less. That's not silence, it's sovereignty. People hear you differently now, not because you're louder, but because you're clearer. This is why others ask for your opinion, even when you think you've said nothing special. This is why someone will quote your words in a room you're not even in. This is why your grandchildren, your friends, your community come back to you, again and again, not for entertainment, but for truth. And the truth you offer is wrapped in tone, timing, and tenderness that only comes with age. So no, your beauty isn't in having the most polished vocabulary or the most commanding pitch. Your beauty is in the courage to speak only what's real, the discipline to say what's needed, the strength to hold silence when others cannot. And that is why you're beautiful. Not just to those who know you, but to anyone who hears you and recognizes something steady, something sacred, something deeply human in your voice. You are the kind of woman whose words don't just pass through the air, they stay. Stay with me, because in the next part, we'll explore a sign that has nothing to do with how you look or sound, but everything to do with how you carry your story. A sign that reveals how you've turned your life into something artful, something sacred. And once you see it, you'll never again ask if you're still beautiful. You'll know. Because you've been becoming her all along. The sixth sign that you are a beautiful older woman, even if no one has named it for you, is the way you carry your story. Not the highlights, not the polished version, but the real story, the full arc of who you are, the way you've survived what should have broken you, the way you've stitched yourself back together after every loss, every betrayal, every moment that left you breathless and alone. You wear your story, not as a burden, but as a badge. And here's what makes that so beautiful. You do it without needing applause. You've lived long enough to know that life doesn't always offer neat endings or easy answers. But instead of letting bitterness take root, you've cultivated something softer, deeper. You've chosen reflection over regret, growth over blame, peace over resentment. And that quiet transformation, born of real, honest living, is one of the most captivating things a human being can witness. If you feel this in your bones, if you know the weight of everything you've carried and how deeply it has shaped you, then please take a moment now to like this video and subscribe. Because here, we honor what the world too often overlooks. The beauty of a woman who has not just aged, but evolved. Let me ask you, have you ever shared a part of your life story and seen someone's eyes widen, not in pity, but in awe? Have you ever heard the words, "I don't know how you made it through that," and felt no need to explain? That's not just strength, that's legacy. And you don't need to tell your whole story for people to feel it. It's in the way you pause before responding, the compassion in your eyes when someone else is struggling, the grace you extend to others, even when they don't deserve it. That grace wasn't born overnight. It was forged in fire. You've lived through decades of heartbreak, healing, letting go, rebuilding. And now, you carry it all without bitterness. That is art. That is beauty. You've stopped pretending that life is perfect. You no longer need others to think you've figured it all out. You've made peace with the messiness. And because of that, you allow others to do the same. You are the woman others come to when their world is falling apart. Not because you've fixed things, but because you've already walked through the ruins and found your way back. That's why you're beautiful. Not because you've avoided suffering, but because you've turned suffering into softness. Not because you've been untouched by hardship, but because you've refused to let it harden you. You know that aging doesn't mean losing value. It means gathering depth. Every line on your face is a chapter. Every scar is a lesson. Every gray strand is a verse in the poem of your life. And you don't need to be told that you're beautiful to know it's true. But sometimes, it's good to hear it anyway. So let me say it now. You are beautiful because of everything you've lived through and how you've chosen to carry it. Stay with me, because in the next and final sign, we will explore the most powerful truth of all, the one that ties everything together. It's not in your body, your story, or your words. It's in your very presence. And once you recognize it, you'll never again underestimate your impact. You are not fading. You are becoming whole. The seventh and final sign that you are a beautiful older woman, even if the world has not named it, is the quiet power of your presence. Not the kind of presence that demands attention, but the kind that changes the room without making a sound. It's the way people straighten when you walk in, not because they're afraid, but because something about you commands respect. It's the way conversations shift when you choose to speak, the way even silence feels fuller when you are there. And this presence you carry, this aura that cannot be explained, is not born from youth or beauty magazines. It is born from knowing who you are and having nothing left to prove. If this has ever been true for you, if you've felt the energy change around you without lifting a finger, then pause now. Like this video, subscribe, because the time has come for you to stop doubting what others already feel, that you are the kind of woman who makes others feel steadier just by being near. Your presence is not just noticed, it is remembered. Not because of what you wear, not because of what you say, but because of the way you simply are. You are the woman who doesn't chase approval, who doesn't explain herself to be understood, who no longer waters herself down to fit places she's outgrown. And that confidence, quiet and calm, is magnetic. It's in your stillness, the way you listen without rushing, the way you make space for others without losing yourself in the process. It's in the way you enter a room without performing, yet somehow everyone adjusts, not because they fear you, but because they feel you. There's a gravity to you now, a strength that is not brittle, but rooted, a softness that is not weakness, but wisdom, a gaze that says, I've seen too much to be shaken. I've lost too much to be careless. I've lived too long to pretend. That is presence. That is beauty. And if no one has said it to you before, let me say it now. The world feels different when you are in it. Not louder, not flashier, just truer. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed how children instinctively trust you? How animals seem to sit calmly beside you? How friends open up in ways they didn't expect? That's presence. That's your beauty doing its quiet work. You don't need validation to know this, but sometimes the reminder is necessary. Because in a world that tells older women to step aside, your presence insists that you still belong here, in the center, not on the sidelines. So the next time you doubt your impact or feel overlooked, remember this. You walk with the weight of generations behind you. You speak with the voice of experience that cannot be faked. You stand as a living example that beauty never belonged to youth, it belonged to truth. And you, just by being, are proof that the most radiant women are not those who fight time, but those who grow deeper through it. Stay with me, because in the final conclusion, I will help you pull together everything we've explored. I'll remind you what these signs truly mean, not just for how others see you, but for how you choose to walk through the years ahead. The mirror doesn't hold the answer. Your reflection lives in every life you've touched. Now that we've walked together through all 7 signs, let me ask you, what if the beauty you've been searching for has been with you all along? Not in your makeup, not in your clothing, not in some lost version of your younger self, but in the way people feel around you, in the way your story carries weight, in the calm of your presence, in your voice, in your resilience, in your energy, in the simple, undeniable fact that when you show up, the world notices, even if it forgets how to say so. This is not about convincing you that you are beautiful. It's about helping you remember. Because somewhere along the way, as the years added up, as the mirror began to change, as the noise of the world told you to become smaller, you may have forgotten. You may have accepted invisibility. You may have started measuring yourself by what has faded rather than what has deepened. But today that ends. Because your beauty is not behind you. It has matured. It has evolved. It has become more rare, more sacred, more necessary. You are not past your prime. You are the embodiment of what beauty looks like when it is no longer concerned with being seen, but with being felt. And that is the kind of beauty the world needs more of. So I invite you, once again, if this message has stirred something in you, if it has reminded you of something you've been quietly aching to believe, then please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and stay with us. Because you are not alone, and you never were. Imagine this. Walking into every room from this day forward, not wondering if people will notice you, but knowing that your presence already speaks, that your story already matters, that your beauty, though no longer loud, has never been more powerful. That is your truth. And every wrinkle, every scar, every quiet strength you carry, it tells the world that beauty does not fade with age. It simply learns to speak in a different voice. So the next time you doubt your worth, remember these signs. Remember the way you move, the way you listen, the way you're remembered. Remember that your reflection isn't just in the mirror. It's in the peace you bring, the wisdom you offer, the lives you've touched. And most of all, remember this. You are a beautiful older woman. Not in spite of your age, but because of it. Until next time, walk with grace, speak with truth, and never, ever again apologize for the light that only you can bring into this world.